Let's celebrate the magic of short stories and poems. They are truly magical, aren't they? They make us feel happiness, heartbreak, horror, hope, hatred, and so much more. Namaste people. Welcome to Shweta's Basket, a weekly stories and poems podcast, and I'm your host, Shweta Singh. The story that I have for you today is titled Hand in Hand into the Sunset by Narayani v. Manapadam, and it's part of an anthology titled #Love from One to Another, published by The Hive. Narayani is an IT professional, but she would rather work on MS Word than MS Excel. This multilingual, introverted cat lover can be found lurking on Facebook. And if you're looking for humor or mythology, or even something politically controversial, then head over to her blog, fraunara.blogspot.com. The link will be in the show notes. And we did a small poll to ask people which anthology of hives they think the story would be chosen from. The Hive has 4 different anthologies. And the people who gave the right answer are Veju, Sheetal, Kirti, Sharon, Sonia, Alpana, Supriya, Mithila, Sonal, Chandra, Indrani, Pallavi. Congratulations, ladies, for guessing the right anthology. It is the #Love Anthology. And thanks to all the others who participated in the poll and left comments about future stories they would like to hear from the anthologies published by The Hive. I couldn't think of a better way to start this new season. This podcast is my labor of love. #Love is The Hive's labor of love. And this story is Narayani's labor of love. Lovey love, isn't that right? 24/7, it's a labor of love. Bon Jovi got it right. So without further ado, let's get down to the story, Hand in Hand into the Sunset, written by Narayani Manapadam. The southwest monsoon honored its commitment to Calcutta and descended upon her for their annual rendezvous. The city of joy, welcoming as ever, laid bare her soul and embraced the downpour. Streaks of thunder followed brilliant flashes of lightning in the sky, creating a wondrous spectacle of celestial romance. Soon, torrential rains lashed the city, catching amorous couples in the parks, unaware and drenching them to the skin. Then came the postcoital dysphoria, as the streets became inundated with knee-deep water. The mundane task began as men hitched up their dhotis, waded through floods, bickered over the price of aubergines, and selected that perfect fish. Rains, khichdi, hilsa, the most lethal combination known to induce instant orgasm in a Bengali foodie. Life is indeed worth living and loving. But not all of them were fortunate. Somewhere in a nondescript alley in Janak Road, Pankajam Mami was up and running at the crack of dawn, chanting Vishnu Sahasranamam and pouring the idli batter into round molds. By 7, she placed a tumbler of piping hot filter coffee before the man of the house. The divine voice of M.S. Subbalakshmi and her Suprabhatam reverberated from the Philips tape recorder. Romance was the last thing on the minds of the Krishnamurtis, as they negotiated a life filled with tragedies and the hardships that accompany old age. Mama took the tumbler and poured its contents into the dabra bowl. He then tilted the bowl slowly towards the tumbler, ensuring that it was filled to just 1/4 of its capacity. He took a sip and smiled at Mami. The perfect filter coffee, it meant. She sat down, facing him and wincing in pain. How many times I have told you to fix an appointment with Dr. Das, but you will never listen to me, he said in a tone that reflected that the conversation was a regular event in the house. She dismissed it with a characteristic wave of her hand. It's arthritis. It worsens during the rainy season. You also know it. He said nothing and finished his coffee in a gulp. She was right, as always. What's happening in this world? He wondered, shaking his head as he opened the newspaper. What? Inquired Mami. Nothing, Pankajam. I was just talking about the headlines in the statement. Have the prices gone up again? I thought so. We have a useless government that thinks nothing of middle-class people like us. Wait, I will give you a list. I need 2 coconuts, 1 kilo of tomatoes, 1 liter of gingerly oil and 2 bottles of milk, she said, and paused briefly to catch her breath. He glared at her. You and your never-ending list of groceries. I was talking about Mrs. Gandhi. What happened to her now? Mami inquired. Come on, Pankajam. Don't you read the newspapers? It's all about Operation Blue Star. Where is the time to read all such stupid stuff? Without your daily dose of coffee, you will do the Tandav dance and then I will get nervous. Finally, you will complain of excess salt in the coconut chutney. Ayyo, where is the topic moving towards? Said Mama, shaking his head. Come on now, I am telling you the truth. And the motor pump needs repairing. Billu will come around 10. In the meantime, I have managed to store 2 buckets. Oh, I forgot. Keep aside some money for Billu. He is charging too much nowadays, complained Mami. He also needs to make a living, Pankajam. With that, Mama got up. He folded the newspaper back to its original form and placed it on the table. Mami limped to the kitchen to grind chutney, muttering about the prices, the government, and her husband. On the way, her eyes automatically darted towards the photo frame on the wall. A fair-skinned man with a French-cut beard smiled benignly at her. A garland made of jasmine flowers hung over the photo. It was their only son, Ramachandran. A freak accident had claimed his life just hours after he received an offer letter from Remington. How time flies. A lump formed in Mami's throat. It had taken more than 2 years to come out of the shock. Mama had it easier. He could forget his woes by dealing with the cash in a bank. Just a few more months and I will be able to look at his face all day long. Mami's blood pressure shot up at the thought. Retirement is a bane indeed. Pankajam! Where is my towel? Trust this old man to interrupt my thoughts like this, she grumbled. She drew in a loud breath, counted up to 10 and walked towards the bedroom. She pulled out a red-colored handloom cloth from the hanger in the wardrobe and knocked on the bathroom door. One day I want to be there, okay? What will you do then? Mama said nothing, but opened the door a little and took the towel from her outstretched hand. The door closed back with a slight thud. Pankajam, where are you? Mami rolled her eyes. I have been telling her for the past 20 years that my name is spelled with an A and not with an O, but she will never learn. These Bengalis, she thought. Wait, coming! Mami yelled and opened the window. Her neighbor, Sabitri, gave her a toothless smile. It's been raining non-stop now. How is Krishna going to office? Why don't you ask him yourself? She thought, but then put on a most charming smile and said, He will manage, Didi. Thank you for your concern, Sabitri Didi, Mama said. Mami jumped. Not only had Krishna Mama toweled himself dry in 3 minutes, but he had also managed to put on a pair of grey pants and a navy blue shirt, complete with a vibhuti on his forehead. It's fun wading through waters, you know. Sabitri laughed. Mami glared at her husband. All that Bengali woman needed was to call him Krishna, and he would walk with a spring in his step. Mami gave him a nudge. Come on, have your idli. He nodded. Sabitri Di, come home this Saturday for coffee. Pankajam will make some murukus for you. I will not make anything, Mami whispered. Ah, lovely. I love murukus so much. And Pankajam's filter coffee is out of the world. How I wish I could drink it every day. But you know, I have acidity problems. Mama gave her a lopsided smile. Okay, Sabitri Di, I have to rush to work now. See you later. With that, he closed the window, taking care not to create a racket. No sooner had he turned than Mami called out, all guns blazing. What is wrong with you, old man? Why did you invite her? She is such a bore. And murukus? Really? Why should I prepare something for her? And, wait. How come you dressed up so fast? Wait, not so fast. You can't escape now. When I tell you to hurry up, you take your own sweet time. He said nothing, but went to the dining table and sat on the chair and inquired, Idli ready? She frowned at him. Of course, I am just a mere servant. No, a cook. For you and that Sabitri. All you do is stuff yourself with idli, dosa and vada. Next time bring your other girlfriends too. Why should I not serve them? Invite that clerk in your office. The one who wears a sleeveless blouse. What's her name? Whatever. With that, putting P.T. Usha to shame, she sprinted towards the kitchen and appeared with a stainless steel plate with 4 idlis and a small bowl containing coconut chutney, tempered with mustard seeds and fragrant curry leaves. And life trudged on until Mrs. Indira Gandhi got assassinated. So, what happens now? How does this affect Mama and Mami? What happens in the end? To know the answers to these questions, please join me next Friday to listen to the concluding part of Hand in Hand into the Sunset. And we're adding a new section called One Question. So the one question for this episode is, in which city does our story take place? You can email your answers to shweta@shwetasbasket.com, and you'll find the email ID in the show notes as well. We will announce the name of the first person who sends us the right answer in the next episode. And guys, that brings me to the end of this episode. Do subscribe to my website www.shwetasbasket.com so that you're always up to date with what's new in the basket. And stories and poems are not the only things. You will find book, movie and restaurant reviews in the basket too. And if you enjoyed this episode, then follow or like the podcast, share our episode on your timeline and tag us, and recommend us to your friends. Help us reach more people. Shweta's Basket is available on 18 different platforms like Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Gaana, JioSaavn and others. We're also on YouTube. For the complete list, check out the show notes. And if you want to get in touch with me, I am on Facebook and Instagram, and my handle is Shweta's Basket. And guys, in this day and age, it's a good idea to have a website. So if you're thinking of having one, then listen on, because having a good-looking and professional website is just a click away. In the meantime, this is your host, Shweta Singh, signing off. Till we meet again on the air next Friday. Bye for now. Do you want to have a website of your own? Are you a writer, photographer, actor, makeup artist, hairstylist, or even a tutor, singer, painter, journalist, consultant? Or do you have your own cafe, restaurant, resort, holiday home, shop, small business, hospital, or even a blog, WordPress, or Blogspot account that you want to migrate to a good-looking website? Well, look no further. The Geeks will help you, and you will find them in the Geeks room at our Tunes In. Just click on the link in the episode description. Yes, it's that simple to have a website. My website is hosted and managed by them. And want to know what I love about them? They are professional, customer pleasers, straight talkers, and very competently priced. So what are you waiting for? Your website is just a click away.